Okay, good evening, everybody, and welcome to LAFCO tonight. Today is January 25th. Thank you all for being here. And we will start off with our Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. Let's go ahead and move on to introduction of commissioners and staff. We'll start with Amy.
Amy Bublak, city member.
Vito Chiesa, county member.
Richard O'Brien, city member.
Terry Withrow, county member.
Javier Lopez, city member.
Javier Camarena, assistant executive officer.
Rob Taro, LAFCO counsel.
Jennifer Vieira, commission clerk.
Very good. Thank you, everybody. Okay, we will now move on to public comment. This is a period of time to talk about anything that is not on the agenda. Also, I think we have one speaker with regard to one of the items that is on the agenda. But we give you 5 minutes to come up and talk about anything you'd like to talk about. So we will start off this evening with Dan Whetstone, please.
Oh, yeah, but it's
3 minutes.
It's 3 minutes.
3 minutes? We just went to
3 minutes.
We went to 5 today.
Oh.
Okay. Sorry.
It's called unilateral.
Yeah. Dan, how are you?
Good. How about you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good evening. Again, I'm here to talk about the Riverwalk project. I live at 7824 McHenry Avenue. My house overlooks the river bottom where this project is proposed. I know we've asked you guys to come out and look at that area. Hopefully some of you have. I think we have a video presentation tonight to show you what the area looks like. But I'm just going to reiterate what I've said in the past about just being so far away from the city of Riverbank. Let's not jump out there and build this island of homes yet. Let's can we wait a few generations at least? So again, it is prime ag land. I'm sure if we get some big rains, it's going to flood. Just lots of right reasons not to build out there. So please, again, take a look at the area and think about it whenever that comes before you. Thank you.
Thanks, Dan. Okay, next up, Jamie Agers. Jamie, good evening. How are you?
I'm good. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to
Thank
you.
you, commissioners. My name is Jamie Agers. I live at 7730 McHenry Avenue, Modesto. That's an unincorporated area of Stanislaus County. I've been here several times to talk to you about our opposition to Riverwalk, the proposed project area, which is in our backyard. And we're within the project area, and we have something different planned for you tonight. We're going to show you a video. The author of the video is coming up after me, and it's hard to get sometimes you out to our area, so we thought it would be good to show you up close and personal what the area looks like and the nature of the area. One of the things I wanted to mention about the video is it will help show you a little bit of the perspective of the elevation difference between the McHenry Avenue level, which is where we all live, where our homes are, and the drop, which we estimate to be about 60 feet down to the river bottom level, which is where the project area is. So you'll see that in the video. And again, the State of California Department of Conservation maps all ag lands of 10 acres and larger, and they categorize those into various levels. The highest is prime, and the next highest is statewide lands of importance. And all of the area that you're going to be looking at are in the top two categories. So our feeling has been that this is not where homes should be placed. Homes should be placed on soils of lesser quality. So when this project comes before you, which it will, we encourage you to vote no. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Jamie. Okay, next up we have, things going here. Barney. Well, Barney, come on up. Barney Agers. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Could AJ go next?
Sure, that's fine. Is he the one who's got to do the video?
Yes.
Very good. AJ, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
I'm AJ Mitchell. I live at 480 Hogue Road. I'm a professional drone pilot. I've had my license about 6 months now. I took this video to show you guys the land and
again, the elevation between the two.
Let me know if you when you want me to
Yeah,
play it.
go ahead. Right.
Okay.
Here, I'm about probably 3 or 4 feet off the ground with my drone, just showing you, again, the elevation. This is behind Hogue Road right here. And as it goes along, I go over to McHenry. So,
How's Dr. Walton's house?
yeah, I'm at the Walton's house right now. As you can see, it's very beautiful land, and as all of them, I'm opposed to having houses down below. I took a video of the river, which I don't have here, but it is getting pretty. If we have really good rain, like we just did, and all the snow, it could very well get close to flooding, for sure. In a few minutes, you'll see a clip of me above the whole land. In the distance is Patterson Road. Yeah, those are all cherry trees right there. And way, way in the distance is Riverbank. So, you can see, what was that? George Reed was back in the back there. Yeah. So, as you can tell, it was very beautiful land, so I'm definitely opposed to having it developed. Right.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, AJ. Thank you. Okay. Okay, next up, Barney Agers. Barney, how are you?
Good evening, gentlemen. I'm well. Happy New Year. I live at 7730 McHenry Avenue. Again, my name is Barney Agers. I look out at this beautiful property daily, and especially during the storm season, you can see how saturated the ground is without any seeping from the levee that is not certified by Army Corps of Engineers. When the true runoff begins, when Maloney's has to begin releasing water. Right now they're releasing 40 to 60, maybe 100 cubic feet per second. When the rainwater hits the snow in the mountains, it's going to go to 4,000 and more, and that's when things get scary. I am opposed to the Riverwalk development, as everything I've learned about it. Hopefully you will have taken in from AJ's awesome video the immenseness of the amount of ground that would be consumed by Riverwalk, and the distance that it is from Riverbank. It's a number of miles. It's a leapfrog proposal to take over this land. It's, from what I estimate, 60 feet below the elevation of my home. I haven't measured it, but it's a big drop, and it's just not a good location for something like this to take prime farmland and plant 3,300 homes and businesses in there. Yes, McHenry has been widened. I talk about traffic impacts. McHenry has been widened. I now call it McHenry Raceway. because of the speed that the cars go through. And to push Coffee Road through this ground and exit it westward on McHenry would cause an immense traffic issue when you study the dynamics from River Road and where this would come through, where Hogue would be coming through, and then Patterson Road. There are many impacts that need to be considered. So bottom line, I urge you folks to study this very closely, and hopefully your outcome, your decision would be to not approve this being changed into urban sprawl. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Marty. Okay, and next up we have Catherine Wells. Catherine, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. I'm well, thank you. I live on 217 Hogue Road property. It butts up to 7700 McHenry, where the Fishers live. I'm in the little original Hogue home. No, FD lives there. I'm in his carriage shed, is where I live, Mr. Hogue's carriage shed. So I'm rooted on this acreage. I'm 67. I've been there my whole life on these 18 acres that my parents had. And we've looked at the river bottom, going through all the agriculture of the corn, the pumpkins, the tomatoes, the cows. We had cows one year. That was exciting because they try to come up the bank. We have found arrowheads. We have grinding stones. The Miwok went through the river. That's where they followed through. We have, as the river used to flood, it would bring in all that silt and all that richness into the soil. It's so fabulous for farming. I know we're talking a 100-year floodplain, but you know what? Nobody can guarantee that. And when you when you plant houses in a floodplain, when you build houses in a floodplain, you have to raise for a 100-year, I believe it's 15 feet. So that's substantial dirt that's going to have to be brought in. I've also talked to your Riverbank Fire Chief, who has helped me, I can't tell you countless times. Thank you, Mr. O'Brien, Mayor O'Brien, with my parents and with my husband, and we're on first names basis. And I went to him and I said, have you heard about this? Do you know about this? And he said, how many houses? Where are they going to connect this in? And that's going to be a tremendous impact for them. I don't know if Consolidated knows. I haven't talked to them yet, but I'm sure that you would know that. But 3,300 houses, the traffic. Thank goodness they gave us this little, on Hogue, this little exit where we can come in and wait and turn and go out and wait and go and merge. But we don't have a stoplight. We're going to have something. When we first started arguing for that decades ago for this whole big involvement of the 4 lanes and the center lane, and I was always told, Mrs. Wells, you'll have a center turn lane. It'll be okay. You'll be safe. You'll only cross 2 lanes. But Barney's right. They are screaming down there. So the traffic's a tremendous concern for me. But it's our prime land. Aside from, is that my time up?
That's okay. Go ahead and finish. Yeah.
I was going to say, aside from looking down on rooftops, it's prime ag. It's been silted for years, generations and generations. So thank you. Okay, we're selfish, you know. We wanted ag. I'm a country girl. Thank you.
Thanks, Catherine. Okay, next up, Karen Conrado. Karen, good evening. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you, Mr. Withrow. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. And thank you. Hello, commissioners as well. My name is Karen Conrado. I live on Hogue Road. I'm here to let you know that I strongly oppose the Riverwalk, the proposed Riverwalk housing development. for being built on prime agricultural land that we have a limited supply of. For the flooding issue, that it goes along the Stanislaus River. It floods periodically, severely. It's more likely with the atmospheric rivers that are being predicted, more likely to happen with wetter conditions more often, bigger, covering a larger area. Of course, we'll probably still have our droughts, but when those rains hit, they can create havoc. And not only can they flood if those homes are built there and destroy property and lives, it's also wiping out to have homes paved over that prime land. It's preventing the aquifer from being recharged. And we all know that this is California. We know the drought conditions we experience. We know how vital water is. Another reason is that that floodplain is there. It has saved many lives downstream. If you, again, cover that with homes, that limits the flooding that occurs there, which means that homes and property downstream, animals, people, will be more at risk. There's, along with the river, there's riparian habitat and riparian wildlife that's put again at risk. The infrastructure concerns for sewage, which Riverbank is trying to address right now, with water itself, with traffic, emergency services, the ambulance, the fire, the police and sheriff services, all of those are affected. They're already delayed with responses. And traffic, of course, with you have 3,300 homes, you're going to have how many? 6,000, 10,000 vehicles? You'll have cars and motorcycles and trucks and, motorhomes, boats, lawnmowers, your pollution, light pollution, noise pollution, water pollution. There are also, and I was hoping that AJ he has another film that shows the flooding conditions that occurred just recently. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
It's okay.
Oh, I know what I wanted to say is that there was widespread flooding in all of this area recently, and actually in many places across the United States. And those residents that have been under flooding are suing those cities for a variety of reasons. And so that's another concern to be taken into account as you consider this proposal. And I ran out of time, so thank you very much.
Thanks, Karen.
Yes, but yeah, please consider carefully when you vote. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. Okay, the last one I have here is Karen Mitchell. Karen, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Withrow and Commissioners. My husband is not going to speak, but he's just standing up. Just a little bit.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. I'm not going to repeat what's already been said, although that's a concern. All of those are concerns of my husband and I. I want to reiterate the traffic situation. I hear that Crawford Road is going to not be a through road with the new Crossroads development or the further development of Crossroads, and I just see a tremendous traffic issue. We live on Cedarwood Drive in Riverbank. We're in the River Heights area, and I talked with the former Public Works Director about whether they were considering an access road through our neighborhood, River Heights. And they said, he told me at that time, I don't know what the most future news is, but that it hadn't been ruled out. And everyone in my neighborhood that I've talked to about that said it would destroy the character of our neighborhood. People walk in the street and engage in conversation. And that now with with McDonald's on that corner of Oakdale, across from where O'Brien Market is, and the gas station and the cannabis store, there's a lot of traffic on that corner. And to think that if there's further traffic, it's just going to be horrendous. It's already a very busy corner. But the traffic, it will be, I just can't imagine what the traffic jams will be. And so that is a big concern of mine. And I also just think that the project is too big. It's not organic. It does not feel organic, both from the standpoint of its location, but also its size. A community can get too big with one particular development and style and housing, and it destroys the organic feel of a city. And I've seen it in some of the valley towns of how that has happened. And it really does destroy any kind of character in the city. So thank you for your listening.
Thanks, Karen. Mr.
Hi
Mitchell.
there, I'm Kent Mitchell, and pleased to be here. With Crossroads West already a major development, do we really need another large upscale development that Riverwalk would be? That's what I wonder about. Is that what we really need in terms of housing right now in our area? That's what I wonder. And what bothers me the most about the project, my wife alluded to, is it's right on the Stanislaus River. I want to protect that river. To me, that's a major natural resource. It's a jewel of this area, and I don't want to see that compromised. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Mitchell. Okay. That's all the speaker cards I have. Is there anybody else that would like to speak on any other item or on any other subject or anything besides things that are on the agenda? Okay, that's it. Sorry, you want to?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to make sure everyone knows, for full disclosure, that Jamie and Barney have invited us out multiple times. I'd asked council if it was okay for me to go out there and take a look. He expressed some reservations, so what did I do? I brought him along with me, and so I appreciate that Rob expressed no opinion on the project. I went and looked at the elevation, and I think they understood that there's really, there's not a project, there's nothing to talk about. But I listened, and that was it, I think. And thank you, Rob, for going with me.
My pleasure.
Very good. All right, any other public comment? Anybody from the board? Okay, let's go. We're going to move on then to correspondence. Javier, any correspondence?
There's no additional correspondence this evening.
Very good, thank you. Let's move on to the declaration of conflicts and disqualifications. Does anybody have any conflicts or disqualifications? Seeing none. Okay, thank you guys all for coming tonight. Okay, we'll move on to our consent calendar. Anybody on the commission like to pull anything from consent to discuss?
Move to accept?
Second.
And nobody from the audience has anything to pull from the consent? Okay.
You already had number 6 on there.
Okay.
There's only one person left.
Okay, so we have a motion then and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. We'll move on to public hearing. Item 6A. Javier, you're up.
Good evening, Commission. The item being discussed this evening is LAFCO application number 2022-04, Newman detachment of territory from the Central California Irrigation District. The proposal is a request to detach areas from California Irrigation District, also known as CCID. These areas overlap the current city of Newman's city limits, and it totals about 118 acres. You could see on the map here, it's these darker areas within the city of Newman that are still within that CCID territory, but this proposal would detach those from CCID. So typically, CCID properties are detached upon annexation. These affected areas were not detached. This was either due to oversight or a belief that additional or subsequent application was going to be brought in to detach those. These areas are no longer receiving district services, and therefore the detachment has been initiated. In accordance with Cortese, Knox, and Hertzberg Act, the Commission must consider several factors when evaluating a change of organization, in this case a detachment. A discussion of these factors can be found on pages 2 through 5 of the staff report. The proposal is consistent with government code and LAFCO policies, and the detachment will help correct a longstanding issue of boundary overlap and clearly define the CCID and City of Newman boundaries. The Commission may waive the protest proceedings if the three conditions are met. The first, that a notice has been given to landowners and voters. The second condition, that the notice discloses that there's an intent to waive the protest proceedings. And the third, that no written opposition has been received. All of these conditions have been met, therefore the Commission may waive protest proceedings. Staff's recommendation can be found on pages 5 and 6 of the staff report, which includes adoption of resolution number 2023-02. That includes approval of the detachment and the approval to waive protest proceedings. And that concludes my presentation, and I'm available for questions.
Very good, Javier. Thank you. Okay, any questions for Javier? Seeing none from the board. Anybody from the public?
You have that card.
Oh, I'm sorry, we do. Mr. Holland. Michael, how are you?
Very well. Thank you, Chairman Withrow and members of the Commission. Just wanted to thank staff for preparing this report. Again, we're just trying to work with CCID here. We've been having this long-standing kind of agreement and working on ways that we can mutually benefit each other. As you can see, that these properties that we're requesting be detached don't actually receive agricultural benefit anymore. So there's no value to them to continue to be a part of the CCID district. It's really a cleanup, as your staff report clearly indicates, that these were just an oversight. And so we're here today just as a city, and again, as a goodwill effort, we provide this application to you on behalf of CCID, and we hope that you would support it. And I can answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for Michael?
I like his shirt.
Go Navy.
Yeah.
Go
We
Navy.
figured.
Beat Army.
Yeah.
All right, Michael, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll bring it back to the board. Any further comments, questions, or a motion?
I move that we accept Resolution 2023-02.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Very easy. Thank you. Thanks, Javier. Okay, we'll move on to other business. Annual election of officers. Okay, we'll look to appoint a new chair and a new vice chair here. I think we're back to city chair and county vice chair. Okay.
Well, if it goes as it has, then it would be O'Brien Chair and Vice Chair Chiesa.
Very good.
My nomination.
We have a motion. Any further comments, discussion? Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a...
Cannot.
Mr. Chairman, point of order, I don't think
No,
that's confusing.
Okay.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Very good. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passed unanimously. Very good. We will move on for our next chair and vice chair. Okay. Any commissioner reports, comments? Seeing none, okay, we'll move on to additional matters of discretion of chair. Nothing there. Executive director's report, and that will be Javier today.
Just one item on the horizon, the reclassification items that Sarah has been working on. She's just still waiting on some items from HR to bring that report over, hopefully to our next meeting. So that's all I have to mention.
Right.
Very good.
The board received that information. I think it has to, we have to clear that. We just got that yesterday?
Yeah.
Compensation study.
Yeah, oh,
And it'll
yes.
be coming to
Yeah,
LAFCO.
sorry, perfect.
So it's, yeah, the information is there.
Excellent.
Okay, any other comments, questions, concerns? Okay, our next meeting is February 22nd. Thank you very much, everybody. This meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.